An unbiased DM. It was my first time, so I didn't know any better.
No, and we did go live for that last part where you had said I need to be a kind and unbiased DM. You're very welcome to Random DMs, where one of us might be regretting what we did 2 weeks ago.
No.
No,
I stand by everything.
like the proud dungeon master that you are.
Yes.
You are very welcome along to the latest episode of Random DMs, where myself and 4, but tonight 3 other players are making our way through established modules. And to kick this off, we are playing Lost Mines of Phandelver. And if this is your first time here, say hello in chat. If you're out there, say hello in chat anyway. But we are D8 Dungeon, and we are playing Lost Mines of Phandelver with a twist. Every session, it's a different DM. And we are on episode 3. I've DM'd twice because the fucking dice are rigged against me. And
Oh, the dice.
I really hope it's you again. Really?
I hope it is
Really?
too.
Oh dear, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Like I said on the Discord server, if this just ends up being a revenge story between you two,
oh
I
my
think
god.
I think we're okay with that. It's just
Enemies
back
to
and
lovers,
forth.
Declan?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Enemies to one of us dead.
Can be my dungeon master anytime.
Oh. So
Where's, and before we dive into tonight's session, and I will do a lovely little recap for you as to where Fiona left us. We want to very quickly introduce my players, and then introduce or chat about two of the kind sponsors for us here at D8 Dungeon. So, joining us this evening, as always here on Random DMs, we have Fiona, who plays Calda. Don't get too attached. Philippa, Philippa, who plays Thalia. And Wayne, who plays Osfire. And if you're not, like, if you're used to us here, you'll be like, oh wait, isn't there somebody else? There's somebody else supposed to be here. Dahi, who plays Deceit, is... I was about to dox them and say where they were, but they are not here. They are elsewhere. And hopefully having
a fun
hopefully
time.
having a fun time. Yes. And we are going to dive into this after we quickly mention some friends of the show here. If you are looking to get your hands on a campaign planner or a player journal, then we suggest you check out The Rook and the Raven, purveyors and makers of some fine TTRPG notebooks. And they're entirely customizable. So whether you're looking to add in specific sheets, different covers, maybe it's for different systems. If you head on over to The Rook and the Raven and you use the code D8 Dungeon, you will get a 15% discount off your order, and we get a portion of the sales. So a little bit of what you spend comes back to us and helps us make more shows and get artwork. We are in the process of getting some character artwork for Random GMs. I'm so freaking excited. Like, I'm so excited. The artist, who I won't mention because I haven't told the players who it is yet, is phenomenal. But when we do have the artwork, I will drop it and we will share their socials. This will be a fun evening. Can't wait. We will share their... My goosebumps.
You're doing so great. Well done. Keep going. You're doing brilliantly.
Oh.
That wasn't sarcastic.
Jesus Christ, Fiona, dig up, my God.
Oh boy. The other friend of the show to mention are Dakota Irish. Merchants in all things TTRPG, known for their amazing dice, but they sell everything from t-shirts to teas. Teas are t-shirts, but I meant like tea bags, as in like tea flavored tea things.
Evil ones today.
Candles, dice, yeah, always evil ones. And again, we do have a discount code with Dakota Irish, and it should still be valid. But it's Dream Dates DREAMD8S, and if you use that at the checkout, you'll get 10% off your order. And that's just for being a friend of the show, and they want to pass it on to y'all. So if you're looking to pick up some new dice, then perfect excuse. You can't see my hand because it's slightly off screen, but I was pointing there. I think that's kind of everything, right? Sorry, I'm just really excited to get in and torture Fiona. That's literally all this is.
It didn't say anything.
Oh, you didn't? Oh. Great.
Saving myself.
Oh. Are you rolling up a new character there? Because I would suggest... I'd suggest just to have that ready. We won't...
Oh, I always have a few in the background.
Oh, great. Okay, great.
Have a level 21 there.
Level 21.
21.
It's my own homebrewed system. Dungeons, Dragons, and Fiona wins.
Yes. Well, I am wearing my Houses and Humans t-shirt.
Oh. I
I thought it was very humorous.
unfortunately, the way I have it cropped, we just saw you do a little bit of this. There we go.
Yeah, that's what the people are here for.
No, but look, we've lost streamers. Don't know how that happened.
Wow.
Don't worry, the ASMR of me eating my dinner in about an hour is going to be fine. We're going to
we're
get
gonna
loads of people,
back in for that. A little bit of mukbang, a little bit of Dungeons and Dragons.
which is a phrase I just learned tonight. So yes, I will be bringing the mukbang.
Yay!
Mm.
Bringing them up.
I want to. If I die, I'm going to create a goblin character called Mukbang. That's what I'm gonna-
Yes.
Oh, that would be so cute.
Cute.
Yeah.
Always chewing on something. Num num num.
Chewing on Calda's remains.
Or like a little gelatinous ooze.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm going to ignore what he just said.
Oh,
If anyone's joining us that hasn't joined us before, they're going to think you're very cruel. Dan.
All you have to do is go back and watch the VOD for last episode, and you'll know why. Yeah.
I was learning.
You-
It was my first time DMing. I was learning.
And you felt it appropriate to DM that my parents hate me.
And I learned from the best.
I killed all your parents.
Oh, that's next. That's next stage, and I'm building up the tragedy.
It's when we return to the farm, like Luke
Yes.
Skywalker. We're just going to find the charred remains of the parents.
Well, no, we have to make them embrace him again and love him again, and then we kill him.
That's how you do it.
Right. Okay. Right.
See, that's how I do it.
Actually, Dahi has doxed himself because he's in the chat and he's saying he's in the tree arena.
Okay, there we go.
So-
If anybody else is watching us live from the 3 arena,
We are now playing in the tree arena. Whatever band he's going to see must be terrible because literally everyone else has got their phone screens at the band and he's just watching DH Dungeon on his. Like, ah,
Who's that nerd watching D&D?
we appreciate you, Di. And just in case you missed, and hopefully you're still there and have a look at it, I have qualified it that even though you're not here this evening, you are part of the roll. So we will be rolling a d4, and there is a possibility that it is you. And if that's the case, well then you'll just have to pick it up in 2 weeks' time. Plenty of time to watch the VOD and figure out what happened. Okay, so last time when we left off, Calda had regaled us with a rather gruesome version of us heading to the town of Phandelver, escorting Gundren Rockseeker's goods as employed to do so, only to discover that Gundren and Sildar, who had set out the day before, had been ambushed on the road. We discovered it was goblins. Oster haphazardly, foolhardily went on the attack. I think it might be fair to say pulverized 3 members of a goblin family, unbeknownst to him. Obviously, all this came out after the fact. Yes, sorry.
I mean, there's family resemblance. You should have seen. If you'd rolled a perception check, you would have seen that they all.
well, I think his actual secret backstory is that he's secretly racist because they all look the same to him.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, how awful!
So-
is that?
Okay, that's
Yeah.
us fire now in the firing line. As we, as a team, wiped out a small family of goblins, we did keep one alive, Bryson. Bryson, who kind of, I don't know about the rest. I didn't really know Fiona as a teenager, but it had a bang of Fiona as a teenager off of him. But he survived the onslaught and was more than happy to escort Thalia and co to Cragmaw Cave, where he said that we'd be able to find our friends and maybe even some of the goods. We stashed the wagon safely off the road that we were escorting, headed to Cragmaw Cave, where Oster learned that he was in fact responsible for the murder of some goblin woman's husband, who was one day away from retirement, and her two
What was his
sons.
name? His name was Declan.
Yes,
Don't forget.
his name was Declan.
Oh yes.
And my
Oh, that's why I have a note that says Dad equals Declan.
no, that's a different note.
Ah,
That's what you bring to therapy, Philippa.
Yeah.
right. Oh, this is the wrong book. Oh,
And we managed, with the aid of Bryson, some guidance and some inspiration. We managed to convince the other goblins that we were in fact Bryson's prisoners. Bryson demanded to be the one who brought us in, and in doing so, we managed to get into Cragmaw Cave without any further altercation. But that is where we left it. We have just gotten inside. I think that's everything. I know that's everything correct. Deadly. Okay. We left with us all back in the tavern, remembering the adventure, and that's where we all kind of find ourselves. And there is a faint, there's a faint smell of something kind of cooking, something being fried in oil, a sort of a savory, herby smell, and as Thalia, Osfire, and Calda, as ye are kind of just sitting there, kind of still on top of the table, you find that Oster has left his diary, like his collection, his memoir, whatever, kind of on it. But the three of you are kind of just sat there. Oster had excused himself to go back into the back kitchen to prepare some stuff. When you kind of look up from your drink, you see that Deceit is also gone. They didn't say where or what they were doing, but they have vanished from the table. And it is the three of you in the Bard's Quill as your older selves, just sort of reflecting on the events of Cragmaw Cave. And the subject of the bugbear, the leader of the goblin brigands who had ambushed Sildar and Gundren, has come up. What do you all remember about the leader, the bugbear leader? Calda?
Calda looks around at the others and a smile breaks out in her face.
Oh, I don't know why I asked you first.
You remember when we found him? And then her eyes just open really wide. How breakable he was.
I remember him being. I'm feeling a bit fuzzy about this one. Was he definitely like very easy to overcome, or was he just like when we eventually did overcome him, he just crumbled like a little baby?
Well, Osfire, you do remember I like to play with my toys before I break them.
Yeah. Did you ever see anybody about that problem, about kind of like talk to anyone? Or yeah, I know we had discussed it in the past that you wanted to go get. Well, I maybe suggested you go talk to somebody about your general ideas in your head to maybe clear.
Is it a problem?
It was more out of concern for your mental well-being, I suppose. And
my mental well-being is perfectly fine.
Yes.
Always has been. Especially
as
back
long
then.
as you're happy breaking people, I don't see the problem.
Thalia understands.
Thalia, what do you remember about the bugbear leader?
Pouring over there. I mean, it's all a bit of a blur. I do remember he had a bit of a strange voice. Was he very high-pitched or very low-pitched?
Oh,
I can't remember. What do you guys
higher
remember?
end.
I think
I
I think
think
that
he
is the reason.
squealed like a
yeah,
little baby when you sat on him, Calder.
Yeah, I think that was
My
the reason
memory
why
of
he
it.
ended up being a goblin leader, because he had that high tone in his voice.
Yeah,
There are a lot of
resonates
my
with the
brain.
goblins.
Yeah, so it kind of is on the same frequency as those squealy goblin types.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that that's definitely what stands out to me. Yeah.
Yes. Me too. I really.
Just to spread out the revenge among all three of us.
Yes. Okay. I will laser focus it on Fiona, though. That's how I work. As you're kind of chatting about the bugbear, there's kind of a faint kind of whistling coming from the kitchen, and the sizzling, it kind of gets louder for a moment, and I will just give him... Okay, that's not too bad. There's a slight catch of smoke, like just ever so slightly. This was on the cusp of burning, and they've pulled it back a little bit. As Oster comes out from the small little side door behind the bar, carrying a rather large wooden bowl, just filled with crispy fried starlings.
Yeah.
I overheard you talking about Clark. Yeah, that's... And he just kind of starts to scratch his beard a little bit, and as he kind of puts the bowl down with one hand onto it, and you see that there are just little... There are small little wings that have been dipped in like a crumb coating or a flour coating and fried. And there's various little bowls of little dips around, and some wedges of some fruits or citrus fruits, and he kind of shuffles a few little kind of napkins onto the table, and coasters. Calda, he puts your drink on a coaster, you animal, and
She picks it up, drinks from it, and puts it back down on the table.
he puts it back on the coaster. He doesn't say anything because that's Oster and he's a nice person. But he just, kind of scratching his. That's It's interesting that that's how you all remember him. I think, and he kind of with like kind of bringing the book over towards himself. He kind of flicks through a load of it, and like some dried like leaves and flowers kind of fall out of some pages. And he doesn't pay them any mind as he kind of gets to the... Oh, yeah. Oh. Maybe my notes just aren't as clear as I thought they were. Give me... And he kind of starts to fish around for a little bit, and he finds a pencil in his back pocket, and he just writes down breakable... baby? Was that the word, Osfire? A breakable high pitched baby. Okay. He just just in a margin just over Clark, and he's a little crude drawing. It's not particularly good. Oster's not an artist, but he has drawn like just a weird clunky little kind of stick figure that if you squint it kind of looks like maybe Clark, but by the time you finish squinting your eyes are shut, so you're just imagining him. And he's just put it in kind of in brackets that he'll I think I mean you'd all remember him better than I did anyway. Like you were the ones that were kind of all up in his face for a lot of that. It's kind of weird how it all played out, and as he kind of flicks back and forth between the pages, and he's kind of looking at the bowl to see if anybody's eating anything.
Osfar is definitely eating as many wings as he can get his hands on.
Is there any whole starlings, or is it just the wing?
It's not even starlings. Oh my god, he's like his family are they're not rich. They just call it starlings on the menu. It's just chicken. No one can tell the difference. Give me a roll for perception, Calda. At disadvantage.
You asked. Oh, that's not 3 bad. 12.
Yeah, no, you don't notice the difference.
I could have rolled 20 and you would have said that.
I really would have. No, he looks at you as you kind of smack your lips a little bit. Oh yeah, no, it's not real starling. No, don't worry. You can eat as many as you.
She's gonna like take a little nibble, and she'll look up at you and she said, "Oh, your parents investing in culinary school was unfortunate. Didn't pay off, did it?"
And he kind of just he kind of rolls his shoulders a little bit, and he was, you know, I know my way around stew. Yeah. Where's Deceit?
Oh, they're probably off fixing themselves up.
Oh, okay. And he kind of takes kind of a couple of the wings out of the bowl and kind of puts them on a small little plate, and just keeps them next to him, out of arm's reach of you, Osfire. But he puts a few on a plate. It's weird. They weren't there when it all kind of. You remember, right? They were gone back then as well, and he's kind of found the page that he was looking for, and he just starts to read from it. The cave was dimly lit, the sound of the stream rushing underfoot. The air was cold and heavy. The faint aroma of wet dog clung to Calda, and I'm joking. I'm sorry. I can't. There's a part of me that really wants Oster to be nice about this, but Declan really wants to fuck over Calda.
Your character is nice.
My character's nice. Yeah, he continues to describe the cave as all of you kind of find yourselves back there some 40 years ago. And you're standing just on the other side of the cave entrance to Cragmaw Cave, all of you standing in the small stream that just spills out the mouth. It's only up to about ankle height. It's very cold. You can see just about maybe 40 feet up this passageway where the stream has kind of cut through the rock face, or something has at the very least. A little bit up further on your right, you can hear the faint sounds of dogs or some canine creatures growling and kind of yipping at each other a small bit. There is noise further back the passage of the cave, and as you trace along before it's swallowed in the darkness and the bend in the river, you do see a little further beyond another passageway slightly obfuscated by the bend in the river and in the cave. As you find yourselves standing back there, kind of looking around, getting a sense of your whereabouts, your station, you see that Deceit has vanished. They were there a second ago. They were there with Bryson, and now Bryson's gone, and so is Deceit.
Did any of you notice where Deceit went at all?
He's a faithful fellow. Maybe he found something to do.
We don't want to be going wandering off in a place like this. We want to stick together. We need to stay as a group.
I think he can handle himself.
We could leave
I
a
hope
note.
so. We
Back this way.
So you want to leave a note for people to find, to let them know that we're here.
We should have worked
then
out a
if they come-
code before, but
Oh.
we didn't. What would be a code that Deceit would recognise?
Tell them that we have found their bag.
Draw a handbag on the wall. Yes.
Yes.
I take out a claw and immediately start scratching a little tiny handbag into the wall. Like the one that they bought at the market the week before.
Okay. Give me an unarmed strike, just to see how good this drawing is.
Don't forget the tassels. Talia. There was tassels.
At disadvantage because there's tassels.
Non-natural 20.
Okay, wow, Talia, it's really good. Like, it's surprising.
I have memorized their bag completely. I'm like, that was.
But it's like even the patch of wall that you've picked, like the way like the wall is slightly wet and like the sheen off that and everything.
3D.
It's really good. Like, it's really, really good. Like, it's class. And as you...
And I adjust the tassel to look like a little arrow to point us going further into the cave.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah, you leave a perfectly
Thank you.
carved little, drawn rather, bag on the the cave wall. Yeah, which way are you? Like I said, a little further in on your right, you do see there is like a passageway where you can hear animals. Further on, about 40 feet up, there's another passageway, but there's also a bend in the river.
Where do you go?
I don't know if I don't really have. I kind of trying to get an idea of the scent of the air or something, or just kind of look for something that might give us an idea of the general thoroughfare of where the goblins traverse. Do they go, like, what direction, or is there any sign of, dragging bodies or anything like that?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Okay. Yeah, that is a 14.
So there's no immediate excuse me. There's no immediate, like, I mean, if this is where they dragged Gundren and Sildar, yeah, you could definitely fit a person through here easily enough. If they are looking for if they're looking for any, like, if this is where they might have carted some of the goods, that would be a little bit more difficult. This wouldn't be as straightforward. But as you're gauging the passageway, Osfire, like, kind of just trying to get a sense of which way they could have gone, kind of like sniffing the air, there is a hint of goblin. But Bryson had told you that, like, this is their lair. But that smell of dog, that weird kind of wet dog smell, it isn't dog. You know precisely that it's wolf. Like, you've caught that. There's a slight difference in the odor, in the aroma. But they're not big. They don't smell like dire wolves, or giant ice wolves or frost wolves or anything like that. Like, these are common wolves.
Okay. There's definitely some scent of wolven creatures. It's a very common smell.
Like Calda.
Not a fancy wolf then.
Not fancy in any way. There's no airs about these wolven creatures.
Shall we go and see them?
I mean, I guess it's forward is better than backwards. Just DM, just if I remember, I'm misremembering this, or I'm trying to look at my notes for this. But did Bryson tell us that there was an area? So there was where he brought us into the cave. Yes. Wasn't there an area where he pointed towards where he said there was, like, supplies or something, or there was another area?
That's the passageway further up. About 40 feet into the cave.
Okay. Cool. All right, yeah. I'm gonna.
We should pet the dogs first.
Yeah.
Because I remember he said something about animals or something. I think memory serves. Like, really bad notes.
He did. No,
yeah,
Are you good with animals, Fiona? Sorry, Calda, even.
Yeah, well.
Use your character name. Are you good with animals, Calda?
I love animals.
Great.
I love how they are put together and come apart again.
Just like that.
Sorry, my phone was not on silent, and somebody tried to ring me. Apologies.
We're fine. Do not worry about it at all.
It's perfect.
The dogs, though, are very much into their techno synthwave.
Yes.
We're all having a party.
They just, like, explode, like, in the thing. It's just like.
There's a full-on disco coming further up the cave. Are you going to proceed into that small passageway first?
Yeah.
Okay. And kind of our order. Our order is Thalia, Calda, Osfire.
Oh no, Calda always hangs.
Calda.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll go middle.
I'll go
whatever. I mean, I can go first if you want sniffing the air for wolves. I don't mind.
Okay.
Yeah, you go first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody give me. Actually, no, you're fine for now. As you are maneuvering up, you are kind of sloshing through the stream. It's cold. It's not, it's not ice water, but it is kind of, your footing is a bit loose. The stones are very wet, so you are kind of watching yourselves. But as you kind of come upon that first passageway, there's a couple of crude stone steps carved into it, and inside immediately, Osfire, you see leashed against the northern wall, you see 3 wolves. Two are kind of lying down, kind of like, they're not asleep, but they're kind of just kind of laying there lazily. One is kind of sitting on his hind legs, just kind of like nipping at himself. He's kind of like chewing on it. They look a little scrawny. There's a rather foul stench coming from this room. Give me a perception check.
Oh, that's better. 18.
So you smell the wolves. Like, this is obviously like a kennel of sorts. But the thing that's kind of catching yourself is the smell isn't just the wolves. And as your eyes kind of trace the kennel a little bit, they're chained with like 3 iron chains that are looped around a ring bolt embedded into that back wall. Where they're chained, they're not... it's not that they have the freedom to run around here. That they are as far as they'll go, which is only about 15 feet into the room. The room is pretty big. Like, you could skirt around them. And as you make out the rest of it, you do see at the far eastern wall just a pile of refuse. Like, just dumped there. And just as you kind of, oh yeah, that's just, obviously this is where they're dropping their trash. You see something spill out from the back wall and just tumble down, and immediately all the wolves are kind of up and they're scrambling at it. They can't reach it, but they are still pulling on the chains and they're rattling, and then they start biting and barking at each other. All of you hear a "Shut up down there!" And the wolves...
Would you say it's high pitched and like
very
a baby?
high pitched and like a baby.
Okay.
Like an angry baby.
Like an angry baby. I hate the 3 of you. If Dai was here, he wouldn't have done this to me.
They'd have made it work.
I'm gonna reach into my pack and pull out, because I take it we have rations and the kind of food on our packs and stuff like that. So I'm gonna reach in for any kind of dried jerky meats that I might have upon my person. And I'm probably going to regret this, but I am going to slowly but surely sidle towards the wolves, and I'll have the dried meats out as far as I can hold it, and I'll be like I can't whistle, so I'll be like, whoop, 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 and trying to entice them over, because I know they obviously look hungry, malnourished, and this kind of pulls at my heart because Osfire is a softie, and he's like, hey boys, hey, or girls, I can't really tell from your scrawniness, and I don't want to assume any wolf genders here, so and I'm holding out like the meat rations out in front of me, kind of gesturing to the 3 wolves.
They immediately, like, kind of hearing you kind of do that weird, like, breathy whistle, like whoof, 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 whoof. They all kind of turn, and there's a these wolves are they've got a very like deep voice, and unlike the high-pitched breakable baby upstairs, and they see you, and then they smell the rations, and immediately they kind of come over Osfire. But again, the chain is just a little too short. I'm gonna like wolf whisperer gingerly kind of move myself towards them, holding out the rations, like, yeah, it's all right there now, come on. I'm just gonna slowly but surely like reach over and try to gently, kind of as I hold out the meat to each of them, and gently caress them and maybe try and calm them down a bit. Give me an animal handling check.
And this is where I die.
As far as doing this, can Calda kind of glide around behind a little bit, still staying away from them, their chain length, and say to Osfire, shall I let them loose?
Osfire, what did you get?
I got a natural 20.
Oh, okay. The face you made, I was like, oh, he got a natural 1. I'm going to have Calda eaten by the wolves.
plus 2 for 22.
Okay.
Oh, very
so
nice.
I'm very happy with that. Hopefully that is not the only natural 20 I have for the whole night.
just before we get into what happened, Moist Snail has asked what race and class everyone is playing. So will we just do a quick recap as to race and class? Osfire?
Yeah. I am a halfling cleric of the life domain.
And Thalia?
Oh, that's me. Sorry. I'm a little bit today. Thalia is a Leonin barbarian.
Calda?
Calda is a satyr shadow sorcerer.
And Susurrus. And I am our dungeon master, but I also play a character in this who is, by the way, hanging back, kind of like keeping an eye on everything around, just to make sure that we're not about to get ambushed, but also making very, very detailed notes on what is actually happening. And I play Oster, an Erganassi monk. And missing this evening is Dahi, who plays Deceit, a tiefling bard. So it's quite a nice, mixed, and I think well-balanced party, for the most part. Well-balanced in terms of abilities, not necessarily mental stability. Calda.
Well, I mean, presumably Oster's partially out of it from dealing with the mental fallout of massacring the goblins.
Yes, there is that.
One might say genocide, Philippa.
I mean, you have been saying genocide a lot. But
wiping out an entire family line. I mean, that's going to weigh heavy
the
on
mom's still
them.
alive.
Yeah, not a full.
She might go on
a
and...
bit.
Yeah, there's hope.
You can check out the VODs. If you missed last week and you want to know what happened, you can check out the VODs and see what Calda / Fiona did to my poor character. With that, we return to the kennels where Osfire, you watch as Calda kind of like starts to maneuver in, points at the chains and wants to know whether she should release them. But the three wolves are already eating the rations rather hungrily out of your hands.
Cute.
Yeah, it's all good. So don't go releasing those chains now. You leave those chains up for just 2 seconds. I just want to see how malleable these.
One.
There was a figure of speech. Okay, hold off. No. Oh, you just hold yourself there now. And he's gonna just kind of stroke and make sure that they're kind of definitely paying attention to him and seem to have,
they're
felt
full
that.
on, like they're just licking your hands now. They're like,
okay,
yeah.
Cool. And I'm giving them scritches. It's like, okay, gently release those chains, and I'm gonna reach around for their collars and see if there's something that I can unhook there as well.
Calda will. She's still a bit. She doesn't want to go too near. She's gonna cast Mage Hand, and is there like a bolt or something she can?
There is like a ring that you can see that that has been embedded into the stone of the cave. So if that's what you want to try and pull on Calda with the mage hand, you can.
Yeah.
Osfire, you do see as Calda, you kind of take a step back and you're like, oh yeah, wet dog smell, gross. And not in a fun death decaying smell kind of way. They smell like wet dog. You just kind of holding up a hand. You just push your own forward, and like a spectral hand of your own kind of same slender fingers and delicate wrist just sort of whisks forward through the air over the three wolves' heads. And Osfire and Thalia, you see this, and you all just hear kind of a whoa from Oster as he's impressed by what he's seeing in front of him. The hand grabs the ring and starts to pull. And it's yanking on the ring, but it's very much embedded in there. Osfire, you do see that the chains have been looped onto like kind of a clip bolt. So you can, again, if you wanted to, you could try and break it, or you could try and pick the lock.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, Wen.
I was gonna, I'm gonna try and pick the lock. I want to gently remove it because I don't want to spook them in any way, shape, or form. So I'm trying to release them while Fiona's pulling on her ring. So
Excuse me.
I'll roll. Oh, there's the snort. What am I rolling there?
You're trying to. Is it like?
I'm gonna try and pick. Like, how busted are they? Like, brand new, or are they
They're
rusted?
not. They're like, these are not brand new, but they're also not like the the wolves would have broken them off if that was the case.
Sure.
They have been slightly, frayed, but they're not. The wolves haven't been able to break out of them. So you give me a sleight of hand check.
Okay. Slice has been doing me good so far. That is a 15 with no modifier.
You, again, just sort of entangling with it, you do manage to like unclip the kind of the one of the chains from the wolves, and again, kind of free and stuff like that. You do see it's kind of mangy, like it's not. These are not well cared for wolves by any shape or form, but kind of free from the chains. It is now kind of like it dives in towards the refuse pile and starts just pulling at some of the scraps, and it starts devouring. And the other wolves are now trying to jangle their own chains.
Okay, so I kind of move over to one of the other wolves, and I'm like rubbing, scritching, and going, hey, but I'm gonna let you free, but I need you to kind of lead us, if you can. Just give us a direction where we need to go. We need to find our friends. And can you sniff it out? And we would have taken the map. Didn't we take a map, or we took something from the belongings of the two traders that we're finding? Didn't we take something belonging to them?
And we had like the missive they gave us and stuff as well. So
I'm gonna try and use something of theirs that we have on our persons to give them a scent to sniff.
Yeah, you do. Like there was the kind of the missive they gave you when you got to Phandelver to hand over. So you do have a few bits and pieces that belong to Gundren and Sildar. Give me another, because it's different trying to can them to now get them to do something else. So you can give me another animal handling check.
Oh, is 17.
Ooh.
I'm just gonna see.
My lucky Dakota Irish dice.
Okay. The one that you kind of, because I'm not going to make you roll to release all three. It's just kind of as you were doing this, and you're kind of fumbling about trying to get them something. Talia, what are you doing at this point?
Seeing that Thalia doesn't need to break any locks, she's, I think, sort of also gone over to the rubbish pile and is sort of like nudging at it with her boot to see if there's anything of interest in there, and seeing where the rubbish came from and things, and like patting the dog.
Yeah.
Wolf even. It looks like a dog to her because she's so tall.
Everything looks like a dog.
We run with rules all the time where I'm from.
And Calda, are you still just trying to yank the ring pull out of the wall?
Seeing that the mage hand didn't really get it out all the way, she's going to turn to Oster, not her body, just her head, smiling at him and say, I saw how you put that goblin's nose through the back of his head. You're strong. Care to try?
I mean, I didn't really mean to do.
Oh, it was wonderful. He was wearing it like a hat.
I can try pull the, and he's gonna go over, and he grabs the ring, and he just starts to kind of just the entire time just looking at you, Calda. He just starts pulling on it, like he's just trying to yank it out. No, it really doesn't seem to want to budge.
Oh, summon the strength. Remember the other one whose chest you crushed? That strength.
Yeah.
You could see everything.
Really, it's much stronger.
It just caved in under your foot. Remember?
Skull, I think. I just don't seem to have the strength to do this.
Don't you love the sound of crumbling bone?
No.
Oh, you will. You're very good at it.
And Oster kind of just like he lets go of the ring pull and he just kind of slinks into himself.
I don't want to break this for him.
And Thalia, as you were kind of kicking the rubbish around, like one of the dogs is just, or the wolves. I keep saying dogs. One of the wolves is also now kind of like just the other one that's free is just pulling out more refuse. And Osfire, as you kind of give, we'll say another kind of ration, kind of bribing the other wolf. And kind of, here, smell this, find this, get our friend. He's sniffing that while eating the ration. And now his kind of nuzzle is kind of half buried in the satchel, and he's just chomping away on rations. He kind of looks up and he kind of starts to sniff the air. And as he kind of looks and he starts to kind of like pitter-patter around a small bit, he moves over to the garbage. And he's just nosing around and he pulls out a really heavy-looking cloak. That's torn and it has blood on it. You recognize it as Sildar's, the bodyguard to Gundren Rockseeker. And Thalia, just as you're kind of maneuvering stuff, and the wolf, goddammit, pulls out that thing, you can clearly see beyond now where like some of the refuse is kind of tumbled away. It's falling out of a kind of a rather large gap here in the cave wall that was partially buried in just the amount of rubbish that's come out. And there is a fissure here in the wall that you could pass through. And just as you kind of you just see something fall down. So there's obviously a hole here between the kennels and whatever is above. That's dropping trash down below.
You're muted, Philippa.
I say, look, a hole.
Is Osmar holding the cape?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go over and follow the wolf as it goes over and shows us the area. I'm like, this doesn't look good for our friends.
I glide over and see, like, would Calda recognize the amount of blood on the cape? Is that like a lethal amount?
Ooh, good question.
Give me a medicine check.
Thalia's like nudging any like snacky scraps over to the wolves.
Snacky scraps. That is 16.
There's a lot of blood, Calda. You can't tell how much of it is Sildar's, but there's a lot. Not enough. I mean, well, any amount of blood could be fatal and lost, really, when you think about it. And your mind does try to dribble off into, well, how much blood could a person lose? You know, and then you kind of come back to the moment. And it doesn't, like, I mean, if this is like from like getting stabbed or shot with an arrow, it doesn't look like to be an awful lot that way. If that kind of answers your question.
She's gonna pull the cape up to her nose and inhale deeply.
Okay, it smells of blood, trash.
Osfar's holding the other end of the cape, and he's like, "What are you?"
And she's tugging back, but she'll say to them, "I think our friend might still be alive."
Good.
I would maybe check and see what scraps you're giving to that wolf there to make sure there's no body parts involved, considering there seems to be a mixture of all kinds of refuse and
I nudged
scraps.
back over the thing I was giving to
Oops.
Yeah.
to check its stuff. Yeah, it looks okay.
Oh, is that Sildar's family signet ring? Yeah, Thalia, because you were over at the kind of the trash heap for a while and you kind of nudged stuff back and forth and you were kind of looking kind of around you. You saw bones, like, but nothing that looked or resembled anything humanoid, like possibly like birds or other, small creatures.
Starling wings, yeah.
Was about to
Starlings,
say,
yeah, a whole forest full of
They're
starlings.
very, very well off goblins.
So fluent.
I want to look through the little hole, or if I'm too short, I should like to lift up Osfire to look through the hole.
No, you can again. As you
The yeeting of halflings.
as you kind of peer through, you see that the fissure goes the whole way down. It's just buried behind this mound of refuse. So it's tall. It's tall enough for you, but it is just filled with trash.
Gross.
Like,
Oh no, not the trash gap.
yep.
Oh, can't see anything out the other end.
Calda's
It's just
nickname in
full.
college.
Oh, wow. Well done. You happy? You proud of yourself?
Yeah.
Um, i- is there any other obvious exits out of this room, or is that like obviously that's where we're going? Like, is there nothing?
There's the entrance that you came in through, and then there's this gap in the wall that all of you could fit through, but you don't know where it goes.
And we did hear someone on the other side.
Yeah, and this is clearly where that sound was able to travel through.
I think this might go to a nursery because I heard an angry baby shouting down through the thing earlier on. So maybe this is where they keep the wolves, and then the children are up there.
Shall
I
we
mean,
go?
Oster did just almost murder a whole family. I'm not sure if Oster could. Can you handle also fighting a baby, or is that too much?
Oster kind of just kind of turns and kind of shakes his head a little bit. I don't really want to have to fight a baby.
Let me put this in your mind, right? Because I seem to be dealing with my own anger issues in my own way. But what I would recommend you do, if we have to fight an angry baby, just think of the goblin warlord that angry baby might grow up to be, and all of those lives you are saving in the future. That if it became a goblin warlord and murdered all of these traders and people who are traveling on the roads, you are saving lives kind of proactively, if you know what I mean.
I don't want to fight a baby.
Okay, well, right. Well, maybe we should cross that bridge when we get to it.
I think I probably also don't want to fight a baby, but I'm not sure yet. It depends on how annoying.
It could be a really big baby. This could be like
it could be a very
giant
evil baby, in which case.
I mean, we live in a fantastic world of all types of creatures.
Could be a very evil baby. Who knows?
Maybe the baby's running this thing.
Maybe if it is a baby, then we can take the baby away, and we could raise it to be a good goblin warlord
baby
who doesn't ransack traders on the road. And maybe he grows up to be like a really good fighter, and his parents are really proud of him. Yeah. So
yeah, I mean that's probably what most parents want for their children, and
so if we get up there and it is a baby, then maybe we just adopt him.
Let's go adopt a baby.
Yeah, but if it fights us, we fight back.
And like Oster kind of goes from like to again.
And Ozfire kind of goes over and pats him on the back of the leg and kind of, in his own halfling way, starts kind of hooshing him towards the fissures. That, come on, boy, we gotta go. We gotta get up. It's the only way we're gonna go. We're against the clock here. Let's go.
Yes, Oster, lead the way. The baby will be delighted to see you.
You want an adventure in your life? This is adventure.
And he kind of
crawling through trash.
Okay. And he just wades into the middle of like just the heap of trash, and he just kind of using his arms like a shovel. He's just kind of swooping it to the side, to like clear a path for the rest of you to kind of follow behind him. And he's just using his whole body to like just try and kind of plow through it to clear a passage.
Is there garbage?
Yeah,
juice?
no, he's covered. Like he's sopping.
Once you're thoroughly covered, I'm like, I'm not sure I do want to go this way. I don't know if I want garbage juice on my fur.
I think maybe we should have said that before he waded in.
Good point.
And is now himself a garbage juice person from head to toe.
He wears a lot of silk, I think.
I don't wear a lot of silk. I don't. You can't establish that for my character. I don't wear a lot of silk.
Sodden, one might say.
But he is. He's absolutely drenched in garbage muck, garbage juice. and garbage stank.
And, yeah. Oh well. Okay. You're already wet. Go on.
But he has kind of
I get
he has made a path through it, and he's now just kind of like dragging some of the stuff out of the fissure to kind of clear it. And he does look back, and you see that his hands are covered in muck and refuse and spoiled food, and like his top and his pants are soaked and are stained black and brown and grey. And he's...
How does he look? How's his face right now?
It's very puffy. Like his face is very red and puffy.
Calder will call over. Would you rather be covered in that or blood, like earlier? It's hiding the blood.
There's a hole, and he kind of just, without lifting his head up, he just kind of gestures up over himself. And I think I can hear somebody above. It doesn't sound like a baby.
Oh, what did they sound like?
And he just... they're laughing about something, and he kind of gestures for you to come in.
Just Osfar in the future, when they're recalling this tale, it's like sitting there in the tavern going, I can see why you didn't recall what the bugbear looked like or sound like. You sound like you went through a very traumatic time. I don't remember any of the trauma, but that sounds very traumatic. And then smashes back to the past.
Yes, it's almost like Oster has tried to block this memory.
Things will improve. Things will improve.
Yeah.
That's
no problem.
Yes.
I'm going to take the cloak that we found that has blood on it and just kind of clean Oster's hands and rub his face and wipe it down. And I was like, it's all right, boy. We'll get you cleaned up. We'll probably find some nice, large, baby-sized clothes upstairs that might fit your large frame.
Do you want to
it'll be okay.
set him up first? So,
I'm actually going to offer to go first because I'm the smallest and less detectable, I guess.
Okay.
So I'm gonna. Could you just put your head? I'm gonna climb up and kind of just give me a little boost.
Yep.
And he's kind of gonna try and reach up and see if there's anything to grab onto.
He does. He kind of squats down, and he kind of lets you up onto his shoulders. Now, he's only he's 6 foot, kind of 6'3", Oster. So the what looks, it's like a narrow opening over his shoulders. Give me an athletics check.
Okay.
Osfire, as you clamber up.
Yeah, okay. That's
to
not bad.
observe Osfire's vertical leap.
Okay, that's not bad. It's not
I imagine we're all squished into the fissure.
That is a 17.
Okay.
Wayne's on fire tonight.
Yeah, I have a +3 to athletics, so it's not too bad.
You scurry up. Again, you are able to it's jagged rock, Osfire, so you are kind of able to kind of clamber up and get a good grip, and even getting the boost off Oster's shoulders. He kind of hooshes you up a small bit, and you're able to scramble up. And when you do, you make it just up to the top and kind of peering out. You see a rather large, again, it's another cave. It's much bigger than the kennels that you were in. Your view is partially blocked by a bunch of crates and sacks just kind of in front of you to the left. And they're kind of piled up here around the south end of the cave. And as you are kind of tilting your head and kind of trying to get a look around it, you just see kind of around the crate, your eye catches the logo emblazoned on it as the Rock Seeker. So this is some of the goods that Gundren and Sildar were transporting. But there is a large entranceway just in front of you, and you can hear, this is obviously where the water is coming into the cave, because you can hear a large waterfall just crashing down into something, a pool of water. The room is filled with a faint kind of opaque smoke, and just off to your right, near the back wall, you do see a small fire pit with a cauldron on it. You can hear footsteps, but you don't see anybody. There is just there's an air of tension in the room.
I think, and I kind of whisper back down towards the group and say, "There's definitely something. I found some of the materials and trading goods that they were trying to bring with them, but I think the higher up you get in this place, it seems to be, I don't know. I feel quite tense.
Do you
So,
see a crib?
I don't see any cribs or creches or any accoutrements of any kind of baby type stuff.
Osfar's shoulders just
Maybe
completely
it's
relaxed.
a very large baby.
There's well, I will say, I can hear footsteps, and I don't think they sound like the footsteps of a baby.
Babies
So-
can't walk, so it's probably not a baby.
Oh, thank the gods.
That is a very good point. Well, maybe it's a toddler, so
Oh no.
a bit more mature.
But the goods are there.
Yeah, some of them. Yeah, I don't see anybody around though, and there's a bit of smoke and stuff up here.
Let's go up
Could
and say
the-
hello.
Also, could the partially in character, partially out of character, could the boxes and things fit through this fissure?
No.
Damn.
So this isn't where they would have transported the goods from either.
Okay.
Osfire, as you're kind of relaying this, you just hear a whelp, like again a wolf's whelp, much bigger or deeper than the ones from below. It's come from the cave that you're looking into, and you just hear, "Well, move yourself from Clark's direction, you absolutely useless wolf." And a wolf just kind of stumbles into like one of the boxes, and there is that kind of and it's, "You won't take that tone with me." And the wolf kind of just bows his head and just kind of patters over to the fire.
Okay.
You just see kind of with the light coming from the fire pit, a shadow is cast along the floor, and you do see a rather large frame. Again, it's being cast by a shadow, or cast from the fire. The shadow's been cast by the fire, but it's spilled up along the side of the cave wall.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of hunker up into the room very quietly and hide behind a couple of the boxes off to the side, and then gesture to the rest of them to kind of like, "Shh! I believe there is a large creature of sorts up here, and there are more wolves, the common types, here as well. This individual is not very nice to the animal friends."
Give me a stealth check.
Okay.
Oh,
Come on, good dice. Okay.
Kind of got arms
yes.
out ready to yank back into.
Shit. I have disadvantage on stealth checks.
Okay.
Because it was chainmail.
no.
Okay. First one was an 18. Second one was a 15.
Okay.
Okay.
You, as you sort of clamber up out of the hole, and you're kind of scooting behind the boxes. You do hear kind of the rattle of your chainmail, and you just kind of half peering over the edge. Kind of, you do see the wolf has kind of cocked its head up, and it's looking around, and then Clark, whatever this thing is that's kind of thundering about the cave, kind of approaches, and the wolf just kind of, you just see him roll his eyes, and he just put his head back down. And Oster is looking at you, Calda, to see if you want to boost up.
Yeah, she'll go over and let him push her up.
Give me an athletics check, please.
Here we go. Oh, that's an 8.
Okay. Okay. You can't quite get a grip as you kind of like scrabble up a small bit, and even with Oster kind of whooshing you up, you get a footing and you slip, and when you do, your hands scratch against the wall. Take one scratching damage.
I thought you were stronger than that.
Oh, sorry, and he kind of like, he goes to kind of, he pushes his back into the wall, so he's now pressed into it, and you see him wince as he kind of gets stuck by some of the more jagged pieces, and he's like, okay, I think I could probably give you a shot, and he kind of looks at you, Thalia, are you going to be okay to maybe climb up? Okay. And he's going to whoosh the two of you up as quietly as he possibly can. If I can find the dice. Oh, there it is. Okay. That is a 19 plus. Oh, plus, so it's 22.
Very nice.
Again, he's just sort of wedged himself between, like he's kind of pushed his back into it, and he's kind of shimmying up, and the entire time he's just kind of holding on to you, Calda, and as he kind of gets closer to the mouth of the hole here, he's kind of like lifts you up, and kind of pushes you up and out. Give me a stealth check, please.
Hopefully this will be better. It is 19.
Oh, okay, and it's a nat 20 for Oster. Yeah, Calda, as you clamber out, Oster immediately follows and just quietly just drags his frame along the ground kind of behind you, and kind of like you, Oster, and Osfire are just sort of bundled together neatly behind these boxes and these sacks. And then Oster reaches down, Thalia, to you to like try and hoist you up.
Okay. Everything to lose. Let's go.
Athletics.
Thalia does a good old.
Can I use a mage hand to, because I lost a little bit of confidence in Oster after he dropped me the first time. So can Calda extend a mage hand to help pulling Thalia up?
Really drop you in the sense of you fell yourself, but sure.
No, Calda remembers it.
Oh, okay. Well, good thing Calda is not actually.
Was both of them helping?
Yes.
Can I be helped?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
She'll just kind of Oster will just see like from his peripheral vision, Calda's head leaning forward. I'll help you, and she'll cast mage hand.
Okay. Yeah, with kind of again, this spectral hand just kind of whooshing down the kind of the hole here towards you, Thalia. It does it now. It's not delicate. It grabs at like your hair, and it yanks you kind of up. Yeah, it is. It's pulling on your mane. Like it's kind of got it's a cat grab where you're like, and you're
right at the back of her
Yeah,
neck.
your legs have even hooked up as well. You're like, but you are clambering up and out, and you do kind of reach for Oster's hand. He pulls you out of the hole, and then just kind of like puts a finger to his lips, and then he kind of points over. The cave has gotten very quiet.
What can we see now?
Again, from the vantage point ye are hidden behind a stack of crates. There's heavy sacks sitting on top of them, so you've got kind of a perfect like vantage spot here. If you want to peer over to try and get a better view of the cave and Clarg, then you are going to need to give me a stealth check, and then just a stealth check.
Yeah, Calda would be very excited. Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Philippa.
Okay. What if I get my claw and I poke through one of the sacks to make a little eye hole so we don't have to peer over?
Like digging in
I
litter.
just think, yeah, like
Okay.
it probably would still need a stealth check, so maybe not. But anyway,
Um,
I'm just excited to have claws.
Okay. And I want to scratch everything.
Live in your fantasy.
So, again, yeah, you start to kind of scratch at one of the cloth sacks, Thalia, and again, like it's that thing that you snag a thread, you pull the thread, you rip the thread, you tear it open, you make it a little bit bigger, and then just a load of grain starts to spill out of it.
Look over at you like. Look over at Cal like. Stick one finger.
Okay, so you now have a finger in the sack, trying to stop the grain there. Yeah, you came back at the perfect time there, Rowan.
She has her finger in a what?
Talia had ripped open one of the sacks on top of the crates to try and make an eye hole, and a load of grain has come spilling out
Stop
of it.
thinking there might be something inside.
So they now have a finger in the bag to stop the grain from spilling out.
Right. Oh.
Bad idea. Says Valley. I shouldn't have done this. I didn't think ahead.
Calda, give me your stealth check. Oster is also trying to pick up the grain and like try and maneuver it at least up onto the crate, just in case the grain
like,
is important.
Panicking, like putting some in my mouth. Like it's probably edible.
Yeah, it's just oats, just rolled oats.
I got 15.
You kind of, again, you're kind of where Thalia ripped a hole in the bag to try and look through it. You just sort of like squeeze a little gap between the crates, and it's not perfect, but you can see Clark. He is I mean, you've seen bugbears. You've dealt with them in the marketplaces. You know, some of them are pretty in tune to old magic, and their customs and rituals around life and death have always been kind of fascinating. Plus, there's the smell that some of them tend to exude, and you've seen plenty. Clark looks like the weakest, mangiest bugbear. He's more bug than bear, and like he has two kind of like scraggly little braids that again look like they might possibly be fake, sitting behind these two clip-ins, yeah, kind of sitting behind two floppy ears. And you know the way like cats tend to lose like the fur on the tips of their ears, where it's just the skin, and the skin's a bit of a grayish. Like he's got like that's the color of his ears. They flop down over his.
Oh God.
He has like a fairly protruding jaw, with tusks kind of popping out of it. But it looks more like an underbite than anything. He's wearing like a long leather cuirass that has a strap holding it up over one side. And that's kind of holding on to his undergarments that are hitched up just above the knee. And he's stomping around barefoot with just these really nasty looking feet. He has a fairly large pauldron sitting on his right shoulder. And he looks like a giant man baby.
Carla's gonna kind of stifle a laugh looking at him and look back at the others with wide eyes and point in the direction where he is and just look very excited.
What is it?
A friend.
He's not a baby then.
No. He's something.
I mean, do you think he's not a prisoner in any way?
Oh no.
He was mean to the wolf.
He was very mean.
That is true.
Probably a baddie.
Probably
we could. I mean, I think between all of us here, we could
tear him
probably.
apart.
probably we could take him. I mean, I'm completely out of spells for the day, but I have got my trusty mace, and I can do a few burnies,
Yes,
and
Bernie,
stuff.
Bernie.
And and I got a bit of healing. So I mean, I might just kind of. I'm not going to wade in and stuff. We'll leave that to Austria here to
Well,
kind of.
You did a good job last time, Osfire, so I missed literally everything I tried to hit last time, so in a way I should probably redeem myself. So I can go first.
Okay, yeah. Look, we can do this. We got it. It's just one bugbear and maybe his wolf friend, if that wolf is even keen to fight. So
Throw some more jerky at the wolf. It'll be fine. Whoops.
that's not a bad idea. And I go search and see if I have any more rations or jerky. And then I'm also gonna go get my Chinese that's at the door as well.
And I tell you what, this is we might take our break here if that's actually if that works for everybody. So while Osfire's gone to check on the rations, we are going to take a quick 10-minute break. So do remember to hydrate, to stretch, and be nice to yourself. Do something nice for yourself in the next 10 minutes. Have a little treat. And we will see you then.
Yay.
See you in 10. myself. Sorry, we're back. But you had the subtitles to work off of. Better check. Yes, okay. Hopefully you're well fed, well rested, well stretched, well hydrated, and we left it with the gang, Osfire, Thalia, Calda, and Oster in the lair of Clarg the bug? Question mark? Bear? Question mark, question mark, question mark? And with Calda kind of surveying it, Calda, aside from Clarg in his scrawny self, you do see two goblins at the entrance to Clarg's lair. They're standing in front of a pathway that just in front of them, again, you see the mist and the water from a waterfall just like crashing down into a pool of water somewhere below. Clarg kind of turns on his heel, like he does kind of a full 180, and it's that weird thing, Calda, where his eyes meet yours. Like you feel his eyes lock on you. He's dead behind the eyes. He doesn't.
My favorite.
He doesn't react. Like he didn't see you. You saw him and you looked him directly in the eye, but he didn't see you from where you are. And with that, he kind of turns on his heel. Clark's bored. Somebody get in here. Somebody get in here and entertain me. Get me the prisoner. Have the prisoner dance or something. And the two goblins kind of look at each other and just like, what? And they like,
Calda's going to look at the others with her eyes wide, and she's going to step out from behind the crates and bow to Clark and say, "It's you, Clark, the greatest."
Yes, I'm Clark. I am the greatest. What the hell are you?
You're everything I wished for and more.
Does Clark know you?
Oh, you will. And she's going to bring a hand up, and his lack of fur has caught her eye, and how kind of scrawny and gross and mangy he is. And she's going to lock eyes with him, wide-eyed as normal, with a big smile on her face, and she's going to cast Infestation on him.
Okay.
So he has to have a Constitution saving throw.
Okie dokie. +3. That is a 15.
Bastard. He saves.
If it makes you feel any better, he's already infested.
I was about to say he probably is already infested.
Is there half damage or
No, because it's a cantrip.
Okay, it's cantrip.
She's gonna like kind of she's gonna grit her teeth a little bit because she thought this was gonna be very cool, and now she's a little bit embarrassed in front of her new friends, and she's gonna just inhale a little bit, and she's going to burn a sorcery point, and she's going to use Quicken spell, and she's pissed off now. She's going to cast a magic missile at him as a bonus action.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yep, that's perfectly fine.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just let me roll these. 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 force damage.
Okay. So, let me frantically get a pen for this pen and paper RPG. Okay, sorry, they were buried. My notebooks are buried under. Ugh. My house is currently we're having renovations done on our windows, and my house is covered in everything. Okay, so you did 12 force damage.
Yeah.
Of which he is resistant, so he will. No, he does. I'm literally just doing it to annoy you.
Don't you do this?
So 45. Okay. Yeah, just sort of grimacing as you kind of like you see a lot of lice and ticks just sort of crawl over Clark's skin, but he doesn't seem to react. And then you kind of feel the magic, it hasn't quite clicked, And as Clark, you hear a scream bubbling in his throat. You look up, flash a smile down at Osfire, Oster, and Thalia, and just throw your hands out. You all see 3 shards of light just erupt from Calda's hands, and the entire cave is illuminated as they whiz around the room, and all 3 strike Clark. And you see, "Oh! My delicate frame! Clark's delicate frame! I've been assaulted! Help! Clark's under attack!" And give me an initiative roll, everybody. It's going to be fun doing that voice for the rest of it. If any of my students are in the chat, you still have to respect me on Monday.
Your throat's going to be ruined after this. I got a 19.
Okay. Oh, 21 for Clark.
Oh, well. Well, can I see those dice, please? I don't trust you.
Did I say initiative? I meant you were getting at a disadvantage. Color.
I got a 7.
7.
I'm still trying to stop the grain coming out, and I'm like, oh, we're starting. I wasn't ready.
The grain.
I got an 18.
Calda. Okay, and Oster.
Come on, Oster. Don't let the team down.
Oh, Oster got a nat 1. So that's a 4.
He's done with murder.
It's kind of fitting, really, when you think about it, given the guilt that he's currently grappling with. The goblins got... goblins got a healthy 16. And our wolf has come out with a... Oh, a dirty 20.
Oh.
Okay, so Clark, having been beset on by you, Calda, he looks around and just kind of in arm's reach, he swoops something up from the dirt. As he grabs a javelin and he just chucks it straight at you. +4 to hit. Okay, I'm just gonna take my phone, and I'm just gonna take a quick picture because that's a nat 20 to hit you with the javelin. So that is.
Oh no.
Take 6 plus. Okay, so take 12 piercing damage.
Not yet, because she's going to hold a hand up and say no, and cast silvery barbs on him.
Oh, this is the part. There's a part of me here that really wishes James was in the chat to find out whether.
This is what he uses against me all the time.
To see if you can. Can you take your reaction before you've taken your action? Yeah. Okay.
What do my fellow DMs say?
It's throughout the
turn. Fair enough. Okay. Thank you.
I think.
Oh, I think so too.
James.
As long as we stick with that for now.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Work away. Silvery barbs. That.
So you have to reroll.
After only one session, Fiona already has just said my fellow DMs.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Brothers and sisters in arms.
You're not against me. I'd like to point this out. He has to re-roll the
attack roll. And use the lower roll.
That's a 19, so I don't get the extra 6 damage.
I will take that.
But you still take 7 piercing damage.
Okay.
Et tu, my snail, the god, et tu. You chuck, you kind of hands up and kind of smirking down at the others. You just see, like, with his mangy left foot, he grabs at the javelin, kind of hoists it up, and he's trying to be cool about it. He kind of hoists it up, kind of half fumbles, it rolls up his hip a little bit, he grabs at it, and before you've a chance to throw any snark at him, he's about to chuck it at you, but then he just sees the look of like disgust on your face. Clark's very self-conscious, and he kind of grabs at like the leather straps and he tries to fix them up, and then he just hucks the javelin at you, and it sticks. It catches you right in the side, and it's kind of buried there, sticking out of your dress and armor. And
She will look down at it.
Yeah,
and smile.
You see that there's blood. Yeah,
open him and smile at him. Oh,
Clark is very unnerved by this one. Snowy, get her! And the wolf is just up, and like Snowy is this like dirty grey, like it's just this dirty grey wolf, but just these gorgeous blue eyes. Kind of just looks at you, and then you just see that like just these beautifully kind of like icy blue eyes just kind of staring straight at you, Calda, and then immediately it's like and it's down, and he's cross. And he sets upon you.
no. Wow.
Snowy, no.
Really hate that dog from Tintin. Bite. That is a 13 to hit.
It hit.
Oh. Take 2, 3. Oh, take 4 piercing damage as he bites you.
Oh.
And then give me a strength saving throw.
Wow, God, you really think he might be targeting me for some reason, Declan?
I mean, it might be the fact that you just stepped out from behind the boulders.
Fuck yeah, natural 20, fuck you!
I didn't do anything! I mean, can I just take a moment out here? Like, I'm just going to take a pause from the combat. Calda stepped out from behind the boxes, revealing herself. Yes, but suddenly is getting upset with me for now having the bad guy target her, despite the fact that she revealed herself and attacked him.
I believe the DM notes that you tweeted earlier said, "Get revenge on Fiona."
You have access to that file. You will see that I have deleted. I'm about to delete those notes. Snowy just kind of like, again, locks eyes on you, and his gaze goes from like, oh, look at his soft blue eyes to, oh my God, those eyes are full of hate. And he's taking it out on you as Clark points a bony, scraggly, dirty fingernail at you, Calda. And Snowy is on top of you, and Thalia, Osfire, and Oster kind of like grimace, and it's like, oh, as they just see Snowy lock. Like, he leaps up and uses the javelin like as a kind of a prop to hold himself on, as he now bites into your arm. He's trying to pull you down, but you're able to keep your feet. Yeah, yeah. He's like,
She'll look down at like the blood running down her arm and pat him on the head.
Well, what are you two nincompoops doing? And the guard's like, oh, for the love of all, we're not getting paid enough. They now come running into the cave as well. Osfire, it is your turn.
Okay. Osfire, seeing all of this happen and see the dog bite into Calda, and kind of stands there like, shield out, makes up, is like, and it kind of trying to choose between running into the fray or trying to stand back and help people. It's like, oh, fuck it. And just, again, drops the mace and raises his hand and shoots Sacred Flame straight at the bugbear.
Okay.
So, no. So, it's a dex save, actually.
Okay.
From you. Dex save of 12.
Okay. That's a +2 to this. Oh, that is 2 + 2, 4. He fails.
Oh, so 1d8 damage.
Oh, how on brand.
That is 7 points of damage into you.
Okay.
Radiant damage.
Got it. Any bonus action?
Bonus action? No, because I'm out of spells.
Okay. He kind of like you popping up. Clark sees, he just sees the top of your head, Osfire, just from over a crate. Oh, there's a nubbly one over there. and he again his hand moves from Calda to the top of your head, as you kind of just raising a hand up over the box. It glows with just this kind of brilliant golden flame, and then Clarg, his skin crackles with that light, and he's just like, oh, there's something replacing the it. Oh, it's burning! Clarg is burning! And he's kind of like trying to whoosh the flames off himself. It is the goblins are up, and they've come running around the sides of the cave. And they've like sort of like they're like doing a kind of a, and they do that kind of like nod to each other as they pincer around the outside of the cave, and they see ye kind of scurried behind the boxes. One is going to shunk at you with a scimitar, Osfire, and the other one is going to take a shot at you, Thalia, with a short bow. So that is a 15 to hit Osfire.
Nope.
Okay. And a 16 to hit Thalia.
Yeah.
Okay. And that is that's 4 piercing damage. Yeah, the goblin with the scimitar, Osfar, that kind of comes down on you, kind of sees the flames burning around your hand, and it's just kind of, your hands are kind of glowing with sacred flame as you're channeling the magic, and he's a little bit like, with the scimitar. Like he still goes to hit, but he's left a good distance. He doesn't want to get near you. So it's like, oh, I swung and I missed. Gosh darn it, Clarg. And the other one.
Meanwhile, my paws are still full of grain.
Yeah, yeah. Well, still with a hand in the bag, like you are like, oh, not the grain, and you kind of, it is instinctively you're trying to dodge, but also protect the sack of grain, Thalia, and a small little arrow with kind of just these black feathers on it whizzes by and like just nicks the top of your shoulder.
Ow.
And then sticks into the bag of grain, and there's now another hole in it that's just kind of like more grain is falling out of it. It is your action, Thalia.
Not the grain.
Oh no! Oh no! I've awoken the rage within her.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, go on, I'll rage. I'll do a little cheeky rage. Thalia's like, I have conflicting responsibilities. I don't like it. So she's gonna raid, and then whichever. Yeah, let's stop these goblins.
Okay.
So whichever goblin is closer, I'm probably the one that shot at me.
Yes.
Actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Gonna run on over and get my great axe. So, is. Do I add to that? That is 22.
Yeah, that very much will hit.
Okay. And then get a +2 melee damage when I am doing that, which is good because it's not very good. For 5.
Okay.
Slashy.
Yeah, you it's an immediate like, not the grain, and as you rage, yeah, the bag is kind of, it bursts open and the grain spills everywhere. And just in this sort of like storm of spilling grain, everybody watches in slow motion as Thalia full rages and just pile drives over to the goblin with the crossbow that is now like, oh god, oh god, oh god. And yeah, you swing in with your great axe and slice. You cut right through his armor like it was sackcloth on a sack.
I'm like, how do you like it?
And yeah, you do. It's just blood sprays out, and now there's just this spray of blood and this pelt of grain all in the air, and somewhere in the back of your mind that you just hear classical music playing, and it's all slow and melodramatic as it's all just spiraling.
Just like in Thalia's head, she's like, wow, I feel strangely calm in this moment. Maybe my true calm comes when I'm in the fight.
Death and destruction.
And that's all my bonuses. I think I'll finish wherever I was standing there as well.
Calda will attempt to clap, but then realize her arm is in a wolf's jaw.
One hand clap. Oster, like, again, just seeing the spray of blood, these assault of goblins on top of them, a wolf trying to eat Calda, his eyes just go completely wide, and he slunks down really, like, he dips really low, like he's kind of barreling into himself a small bit, and he rolls forward. As he does, he just slides kind of half across the ground. He shoves his body across the ground, getting kind of under you, Calda, and he kicks right up towards the wolf. Like he's going to kick the wolf right into the belly to try and get it to release its grip on you. That is...
He's not using that garbage juice to slide.
Yeah, it's just the natural lubrication of garbage juice just to slip across. So that is +5. That's it. That's a 24 to hit. And then a d8 +3 for damage. Gives him 11 on the wolf for a kick. Oh, fucking hell, I've just killed the wolf.
Drop it.
It is.
You can do non-lethal.
Yeah,
a little love tap.
Yeah. Because I'm the GM now, and I don't have to traumatize my own character. He does, like, he like, kind of having kind of pushed himself kind of under you, Calda. He does, like, you see him kind of lift back up, and one leg just goes right under, like his knee catches the wolf right into the belly, and the wolf does get sick. Like, it's an immediate and like a load of chunks of half digested meat and bile all spill out on top of Oster. Like he's just, the dog just thrown up on him as it collapses on top of him and falls to one side. And Oster is just like, no, it's okay. You're just sleeping. And he's now petting the back of the wolf's head.
Sleeping.
And this is not traumatizing him.
No.
These first 3 sessions are like this poor bastard's Vietnam. He's like just coming back, just like full on traumatized from the war, just sitting in his old tavern, just like flashback.
Yeah, he's like, why did I ask these people to come back?
Yeah.
I don't think it will ever wake up again. Thank you.
And he kind of looking up at you, and you see kind of like he's got like sick on his face and like on his top, and he's just looking up at you. Is your arm okay?
And she's going to just hold her dripping arm over Oster's face and say, yes, it's beautiful.
Osfar, that looks bad. And again, he kind of looks back at you, and again, you see he's got blood on him, he's got sick on him, he's got garbage on him. But his concern is Calda.
Like a disgusting Neapolitan
yes.
ice cream.
Oh my god, Philippa, that is... Oh my god. Okay, if somebody's in chat, could you please clip that? Like, could you please clip that so we can never all have Neapolitan ice cream ever again?
Yeah, clip that.
Oh, Philippa, you can take inspiration for that. For grossing everybody out simultaneously. You can have inspiration for that.
That was wonderful.
And I would love it if someone clipped that for us. That would be fantastic. Yeah. Oster is just back to you, Osfar, to tell you that Calda looks really hurt.
I think she's going to be all right. I think it's just it's a little small bite. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Are you okay, boy? You look a bit more traumatized than usual.
Again, his eyes are wide. Like he's like, no, I'm okay.
Oh, okay. Well, that's probably a later on problem. We'll deal with that later. So
Later on.
Hey, are you my therapist? Is this this is session 1. We don't unpack that right now. Put that back. That's a later on problem. Top of the turn, it's Clark again, who, on seeing all of you kind of now in the throes of it, is just completely and totally irate. And he's going to he's going to charge in on top of everybody. Seeing that Snowy is down, he is going to try and take a swing at Talia. You're the biggest thing in front of him, so he's probably going to hit you with his Morningstar. And he's going to... Okay, that is a 22 to hit. For 7...
I have
13 piercing.
I have some resistance.
Okay, so it's 13 in total.
I have resistance to piercing.
Okay.
So
you half damage. So 6
and you're raging as well, aren't you?
yeah, that's why I'm taking
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
If you... So 6.5, round up to 7. 7 damage in total. Yeah, he comes swinging in and he's like, Clark doesn't want any of you people in his home anymore. I'm a warlord. And he just swings in with the Morningstar. And yeah, he clobbers you with it, Thalia. With, again, for something so scrawny and mangy, and there was a good belt to it.
I think so. Thalia's picking up some tips because she's kind of scrawny at the moment, but she's still strong. So she's like squares her legs, takes it heads why it's half, and she's like, "Ooh, good hit, nice."
Clark appreciates your feedback. No, Clark does not. No, Clark doesn't want you here.
I have a javelin as well.
What? Calda, it's
Bloodlust in the eyes.
it is your action, Calda.
So who is left in front of us?
So you've
Clark.
Clark is kind of in front. So you, Thalia, and Oster are kind of all in the same sort of space.
Okay.
With Clark and like one of the goblins, who's looking incredibly pale. And Osfire is to your left with another goblin and a scimitar.
Her eyes are still locked on Clark, and she's going to smile at him and bring up a hand and cast Chaos Bolt at him. Oh. 23 to hit.
That doesn't hit. The hits roll for damage.
Okay. Ooh. That's gonna be 14 damage, and I am gonna pick acid. I want to see him melt in front of me.
It's like just putting your right foot behind you. You're not taking a step, but it is just that sort of like with the blood coming from your side, the blood coming from your arm. Again, you can feel its warmth kind of trickling down, and like Oster is kind of half clambering up, and he's taken a clean rag from a bag, and he's trying to like tie it off a small bit. Like you're completely oblivious to his efforts as you lock eyes directly on Clark, whispering insane mumblings to yourself, just kind of flicking your fingers back and forth. And it is that sort of like, it's almost like a little roulette with this one's fire, this one's lightning, this one's water, this one's acid, this one's, and then it stops and ooh, acid, melt, and just this crackling of ferocious wild energy just ripples around your fingertips, and Oster, his eyes kind of light up, and his skin, like a wave of goosebumps just kind of rushes over him, and like all the little hairs at the back of his neck all kind of stand up as he sees you just bend this magic to your will. And little bubbles of this putrid green liquid just sort of fizz up and pop and trickle down your hand. They don't affect you. And then the magic just rushes forward in a blast. And it engulfs Clark. And you just hear, "No! Clark's melting! My fake tattoos are melting!"
What a world! What a world!
And you see kind of like burns and stuff kind of like appear on him, and like again, some of his fake tattoos apparently are melting, as is some of his armor, and yeah, his skin is bubbling and blistering.
She'll look
He's
at him
standing,
and say,
but
"How does it feel?"
Clark feels terrible. Why would you ask that question in this moment? That makes no sense.
Describe it in detail.
I would have to say, on a scale of 1 to 10, Clark is currently feeling a 10.
Oh,
And bonus action, because I cannot keep that voice up for long.
she will clap, spraying blood from her arm all over Oscar.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That was your bonus action. Flicking blood
Yeah.
on Oster. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 Osfire.
Osfar is going to turn to the goblin that kind of half-arsedly tried to hit him with the chinter. Boy, you're probably going to want to run, find some treasure, and get the hell out of here, because we're about to fuck up your boss. If you want to live, I suggest you move now.
Give me an intimidation check with advantage.
Okay.
Only because of the horrific scene that's spilling out behind you. And that threat, obviously. But
That is a 16.
yeah, he throws the scimitar down. And he just says, Diane, it was great working with you, but you're on your own. And he I'm out of here. And he grabs like a handful of the rolled oats and he books it.
Okay.
You have an attack of opportunity on him if you want.
No, I'm going to let him go. I'm trying to. Oh, at least I didn't have to kill the poor bastard. I'm just going to turn and kind of refocus on the bugbear.
Okay. Any bonus action?
Nope.
Okay.
Tapped out.
So it's just Diane. Diane, it's just like, Anthony, no, what are you doing? No, we just start. No, you just finished orientation, and she's actually gonna. I'm gonna make a roll of a d20. She's not intimidated, but she is like, oh fuck, I'm on my own, and Clark's a twat. A 2.
So
No, you know what? She's like, you know what? More money for me. And
Or Roldo.
she is going to take a shot at you again, Thalia. That is a 17 to hit.
That hits.
And that is takes 6 piercing damage.
Is that already?
No, it's not. Sorry, so it's 3 halved.
Heal. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so she kind of like crossbow loaded. She is kind of like, she flits between Osfar, she flits between Oster, she flits between Calda, and then lands on you, Thalia, and it's like, oh yeah, the bigger one. And she fires, because she's definitely going to hit you. Possibly. If not, she might hit the stack of grain again. It is your turn, Thalia.
Was this the same goblin I was able to attack him?
Yeah, the one that you slashed.
Yeah, okay, so I was just like little crossbow button minute. Ow!
Oh.
Don't hit me!
Okay.
Great axe. 18 to hit.
That's definitely going to hit her.
Plus 2 melee. 10
Damage?
slash.
Okay, so how does Diane the Goblin go out?
It's a clean cut.
Okay, it's clean cut.
Oh.
Head.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Like anime style, where she kind of looks down and
Yeah.
then she slides in
But-
half.
Diane looks down and her mind flashes back to just 2 seconds ago where she's like, no, I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay. I'm going to
Yeah.
fight for Clark. This is the best decision you ever made, Diane. And then the blade just cuts right through her and there is a kind of... And then Diane's mind flashes back to earlier that morning where she's told to sign off on work papers, insurance forms, making sure that her sister would get her life insurance policy, but she never actually signed it, so Clark Corporation are going to hold on to it.
Paying the intern either.
No, and they didn't pay Bryson, the intern, either.
Part of the system.
Yeah, and she just slides off in 2 chunks. Like there's just as Diane falls that way and that way at the same time.
Oh,
Bonus action.
Yeah. I actually can do. Well, how is Clark looking?
Clark is looking melty, frustrated. He looked like crap beforehand, but now he's looking like melted crap.
Calder seems to be having fun. I think I'll leave it to Calder.
oh.
So I'll just sort of step back a little out the way,
uh,
away from the javelins, and duck behind a box of some sort.
okay. Oster, seeing you, Osfire, kind of like deal with an altercation with words, kind of emboldened and sprayed with blood, kind of like puts himself in front of Calda, kind of like defensively, like just making sure that if another attack comes, he's going to take the brunt of it, and he just locks eyes straight on Clark. If you don't get out of here, you mother flipper, we're gonna really just we're just gonna really mess up this cave
Good job.
on you,
And him.
and then
Yeah.
you'll have to spend time cleaning it.
Oh.
Rolling with intimidation with a disadvantage. That is a flat 9. Clark
Good effort.
Clark is just looking at you, like kind of like he looks at Oster as he's talking, and he's just kind of like his eyes just lock on you, Calda. What?
He meant we're going to mess you up.
Clark is feeling a deep sense of shame that he's been bested by.
Oh, don't go. Not yet. We're not done with.
Clark thinks he hears someone calling him from another room. So if you don't mind, and he's gonna book it. He's gonna run.
We're not done here.
No, Clark, I'll be right back. Clark will be right back. And he's gonna
After these messages.
Yeah, right after these messages from the fine folks at Acme. He's running it. He's following Anthony hot on his tails.
I think we've been raided.
Thanks so much, Ampersand D20 for the raid. You came in just as I was screaming about. Perfect time to jump in. We're dealing with I believe, breakable baby high-pitched bugbear were the 3 words the party gave me to create the character. So thanks so much for the raid, and we've still got a bit of time left, so stick around and
Watch Declan get traumatized some more.
yeah, watch my poor character get traumatized some more.
I thought we were going to be getting revenge on Fiona this week.
My revenge was being nice to you.
Oh no, don't.
There's still time, Fiona. There's still so much time to turn this. Actually, I have the perfect revenge for the end of this.
Oh,
Perfect
okay.
revenge.
I will wait patiently.
Okay, because I can't wait.
Waiting with D4 to be DM again.
Okay. I just realized for the Raiders, you might not. So it's not that we hate each other. We love each other deeply. And
I do actually.
Yeah. But welcome along. So next up, it is Calda. Since Snowy the Wolf is down and Anthony the Gobbo has run for it, so has Diane. Well, Diane ran for it in 2 different directions because she's split in half. He's
How far away?
he's 20 feet. He's almost to the entrance of the cave.
She'll side eye Osfire and say and just grin at him, and I'm going to try again. Let's see who can do better. And she'll put out her bloody hand this time and cast Firebolt at Clark. Oh no, don't go. Oh no, come back. Oh, there goes my D20. 18 to hit.
That
Hits.
Yeah, that hits.
Oh, that is a 6.
Okay, and as you take aim, and it is that sort of slow, sort of like letting your hand trace his movements as he runs out, and you see kind of Osfire. Calda's looking at you, and then she's like
Dripping blood
Yeah,
everywhere.
it's just blood, and you can just see fire kind of like starting to.
Just fucking shoot him, you crazy bitch.
Any words, Calda, to that?
Yeah.
Okay. Fire just erupts from your fingertip, like just this clear, burning bolt just shoots straight out like a line from your fingertip, and it catches Clark right between the shoulder blades, and he stumbles forward, kind of onto his hands and knees, and he's holding himself up a little bit, and all of you kind of hear footsteps running from further, like, outside the cave mouth towards you. You kind of, and there's just the faint voice echoing, and you're sure this way, darlings. It's this direction. And then you just hear, oh, what is that? And as quickly as the words stab, a rather sharp, pointed, cutting words cuts from Deceit as they lunge with their rapier and stick Clark, the bugbear overlord, into the neck. And it's like, oh, it's on my blade. Ew. And starts to flick it back and forth. Oh, there's blood everywhere. As Deceit has come round the mouth of the cave, with Sildar draped over, while they're holding on to Sildar's arm that's kind of draped over them, and a small flurry of goblins. Osfar, you recognize Anthony. And they're all just staring. Oh.
Hello.
Oh, okay. No, this isn't what we had
You're back.
discussed, darlings.
Did you see Thalia's bag?
Is it? And Deceit just kind of points down at the goblin. That?
No,
Not quite.
did you get hit in the head or something? That's a goblin.
Oh, I
Goblin.
don't know what kind of fashions that Thalia is into. Maybe she was going to fasten the goblin's corpse into some sort of sack.
I drew you a bag.
Oh, okay.
You didn't see.
No, I think we're on two different wavelengths here. I went off with Bryson. We had just a little chat. You might be engaged. We can talk about that later. And
I'm still raging, so.
I said might. Might. Definitely.
But you found Sildar, so.
Yes, we found Sildar, and we were able to convince the other goblin interns, and she gestures round, with Bryson's help, to unite and unionize, and we were on our way to overthrow Clark.
Oh, well,
How does he smell?
Oh, darling, I don't want to smell that.
Osfar's gonna walk up to the body and kind of poke it with his mace. Is this thing definitely dead?
Like a little, just like a bubble of blood, just out from his neck. Yep, and Deceit's just splattered as you cave in. Like blood just sprays over the goblins, over Sildar, over Deceit, over you. It was like popping a bubble.
oh.
Well, that's done it. That's done it, dear.
Yeah,
That's definitely.
I think that did it.
Yeah.
That did it.
They can't live without their heads, can they?
I'm not too au fait with bugbear anatomy, but I don't think so.
Oh,
It's like a melon.
oh, joyous. Okay. Well, Sildar's.
Wait, are you saying that all of the goblins were interns?
Oh, well, some of them were like they have like a kind of a tier system here. Some are currently interning. Others are on unpaid 0-hour contracts.
I looked down at the goblin I killed, like. What have I done?
Yeah. Welcome to Oster's Pain.
They were getting decayed and grey, and that's why they tried to grab it before he left.
It's not to poo-poo the situation or anything. Still, like, you see, it's like trying to like hoist Sildar up. Isn't in the best of conditions.
I'm gonna go over to Sildar and use my Charm Divinity to use my where's it gone? Preserve life and give him 10 HP.
He, just kind of moving over and shutting your eyes, saying a quiet prayer to yourself, Osfire. You pull on the divine magic.
I just put my hand out and go, it's graining men, hallelujah.
Oh, give me the money. Oh.
Sildar dies. Yeah, Sildar kind of like, he rouses a little bit and he stands up. He's still slunked over to seat, but he's kind of more conscious. He's more kind of together. What are you? Oh, you're the folks from Neverwinter.
We saved your ass. This is going to cost you extra.
They have Gundren. And you can see he's trying to fix his focus. He's trying to kind of concentrate. He's trying to, like, you can see that even though you've healed him, Osfire, you can kind of see that he's not fully together.
Who has Gundren? These folk here? Well, they're pretty much on our side now. We could probably ask him where he is.
Anthony, kind of the goblin, kind of just kind of, I think he might be on about Clark's boss. If that's of any use to you. What are we doing now? Deceit. I'm not really sure what a union is per se.
Well, if you were going to kill Clark, but Clark's dead, it seems like you should kill the next one up the hierarchy, which is also our aim. If they've got Gundren.
Yeah, I'm not really sure we're in a position to... and he kind of looks around and then he sees Diane's pieces. Yeah, I don't really...
Sort of shuffle over to try.
Just kick the top part of the body underneath the sack of grain.
I kick it down into the trash fishing.
The wolves have a field day. Everybody knows after Neapolitan ice cream you have to have Rocky Road. Anthony is just kind of probably not cut out for Cragmaw Castle. Thanks. But
Cragmaw what now? Castle.
Yeah, it's where King Groll lives. Reigns.
That sounds like a corporation headquarters to me. King Groll.
We can take them down from the inside.
I think...
Yeah, who recruited you?
Clark.
Who signed you up for the 0 Hours contract? Oh, right, okay, we killed him.
Yeah, and he's dead.
Tell us about Groll. You know about Groll?
He's mean. He's a king. He's not nice.
Is he also a bugbear?
No. We don't really know much about him. He's he's like one of us, but like he thinks he's better than us.
Do you have anything that might give us a better idea on his abilities? Something along the lines of a stat block that we might be able to look over and see. Not to get too meta on the whole thing, but you know.
I mean, if you were to call a spade, then he's like, and he points down at Clark. He's one of those.
So a bugbear, a baby thing.
Well, Clark was just mean. Like he was just mean. Like he was all bark and no bite. Hence why he had Snowy, who was all bite and had like the cutest little bark. And then his eyes look at Snowy. Oh God, Snowy's not dead, is he?
No, he is sleeping.
Yeah, Oster picks him up and is like
Forever.
cradling him. No, he's fine. He's just petting the wolf's head.
Well, I mean, I don't know about the rest of you, but I think I need to get some shut eye before I decide whether I want to go and raid a castle and find Gundren. I think it's been a lot, and I think we need to take a rest. And
search through Clark's things.
And find these
Yeah.
goblins better paying jobs.
Okay.
Yeah, that as well, maybe.
I mean, all of this here now, all these kind
These
of
are all of equal importance.
this is all yours now. You can kind of divide this amongst yourselves, work together as a
become
community
co-op.
to build this up. And I mean, maybe not take a lot for crowds. Maybe just build up a community, grow some crops, raise the wolves better, boy. Feed them creatures. Treat them like your equals.
Sildar is kind of shaking. Said, no. This has to go to Phandelver. This is for Barthen's provisions, and he's kind of now beginning to lose consciousness.
Oh.
And he kind of again. He's like, oh God, oh.
I'm gonna smack him to keep him awake.
Oh.
Give me a medicine check.
I am a cleric. 24. I got
Okay,
a
yeah.
natural 20.
Oh yeah.
That is
Yeah,
enough.
it's
I'm gonna slap the hell into you.
Yeah, you do. It's that, like, stay awake. You can't fall asleep. You might have a concussion as you give him one. And like he goes, no, we have to get Gundren. Yeah, we have to get Gundren.
You need to rest, friend. You need to take it easy,
not
but
in-
not
not in this-
like you've taken a knock to the head, so you're gonna have to kind of stay awake for about 5
Just now?
hours. Yeah.
From you.
Let's find somewhere you can lie down, and we'll tend to your injuries. I need to rest, and then I'll be able to heal and stuff.
Alden wants to go rooting.
Okay. Azir and Natalia, what are you doing precisely?
My immediate thought was I want to go jump in the pool at
Okay.
the bottom of the waterfall to wash off, but I think that would be a bad idea.
No.
She's gonna wash some of the grime from her fur from the pool. Yeah.
Okay. So again, there are some goblins that are like they're shifting the bodies out.
Yeah.
Word has gotten
I'm like,
out.
again, I do apologise. I didn't realise that Dan was on a 0-hour contract. That was very rude of me. Wouldn't have done it. I thought she was middle management.
And that's okay.
Of
Because
course.
they're the worst. As you're
We got rid of all of the middle management in my tribe. That's one reason I signed
as
up.
you're cleaning by the pool, Talia, and you're chatting to someone, you hear kind of a voice just kind of echoing from further down below, and you just hear, oh, the sweet hair of my babe, she is a total babe. This is the song that I'll sing when we get it on, because she's a babe. Oh, baby.
Oh, no.
And
I jump in
Bryson
the pool and hide up
trying to
my
drown
eyes.
myself. Give me a stealth check from the pool.
I mean, not to be that player, but wouldn't if it's a pool for goblins, wouldn't it be like the baby
It's like a
end?
pool of-
Like
I
it'd
know,
be like
To be fair, it's a pool. This is where
like
the
a
waterfall.
waterfall.
it just
Yeah.
had this Lionel, this size of this
Yeah,
giant.
it's just like in the paddling pool.
I did
Like,
I got a 13, so
Okay,
maybe it is a baby goblin pool.
I don't have stats for Bryson because I didn't make him, so I will just use normal goblin stats if that's okay,
Yeah.
Fiona.
That's what I use for him anyway.
Well, his passive perception is 9, so no. Even with you kind of lying there and like just like here up and like the odd bubble, he's walking by and he's full on just swinging a lute, and a
I'm
lute,
glad you said loot.
and just and he's kind of looking around and a couple of the goblins are kind of just staring at him, and he just gives kind of a, "Oh babe, oh baby, yeah, you're my babe. Something else that rhymes with babe." What did you get on your investigation check, Calda?
It's not great. 11.
With an 11, let's see. Okay, so again, you have established that a lot of the goods in here, there's a lot of, not all the boxes and bags and sacks and stuff were belonging to, were what Gundren and Sildar were bringing to Phandelver. And some, again, have their company logo kind of emblazoned on them, but you do see some that Sildar is like, no, at the very least, we have to bring these ones. These aren't ours. We're bringing these for the lion shields. So we can, and he's kind of like, he's trading now with the goblins, and he's like adamant that we bring these ones, and he can keep Gundren's ones. And the goblins are like, oh yeah, well, I think that's good for the co-op. That's good for the co-op, and they're all taking a show of hands, and there's a vote. It's at a tie. So now they're trying to figure out how you break the tie, and now they're talking about trial by combat. And meanwhile, Sildar is just trying to find a way to kind of get the stuff out of here. You have found behind the fire pit, under, just because again you were just kind of snooping and sniffing things out. You've come across just like a lot of like blankets and like hay thrown down in a corner close to the fire pit. One of the blankets is like a badly crocheted, like 3 wolves howling at moons type thing. It's okay. You take that, but you leave everything else. As you yoink the blanket, you hear something rattling under the hay, and you have found a treasure chest.
Oh.
And Oster has kind of come over to give you a hand with it, and also to make sure you don't fucking rob everything. But again, with him kind of pulling it out for you, because it's quite a hefty piece, there's, again, 600 copper pieces, 110 silver pieces, 2 potions of healing, and a creepy-looking statue of a frog with golden eyes.
She will immediately steal the statue.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Oh no, she's not.
Oh,
she
you're not trying to like be like, oh.
No, like when I say steal, she doesn't. She's not trying to hide
Okay.
it. She just wants this creepy
Going
frog.
to steal the creepy frog. Okay, you snatch the creepy frog, and Oster just kind of looks over his shoulder. Hey, Osfire, we Calda found treasure. Hey, can we can take this? Can we?
I mean, yeah. I mean, all's fair in love and whatever the fuck this is. But yeah, definitely take it. It's I reckon so. We should have some form of payment.
Osfar, look, and she's going to show you the creepy frog. Look.
Would I have any knowledge of what the hell that is?
You can give me whatever skill you reckon, like Arcana or Religion or History, whichever one of those you think it might be.
So I've got the same modifier for all of them, so let's fucking go for it. Yeah, 14.
It's you're like, you're trying to scan. You're like, is there anything like weird frog gods or anything like that? And then you're like, it could just be an awful tatty antique. I mean, the eyes, because they're a golden color, it is that thing of like, you kind of get a closer look at them. They are made of gold, but it is just a gaudy little statuette of a frog.
It's pretty hideous looking thing. But have you noticed that if you kind of, no matter where you go, it seems to just follow you around? It's one of those type of magic things that statues and paintings seem to have. It's probably worth a couple of, but I mean, the eyes alone would be like, take them out and probably sell them on. But yeah,
I'm going to call him Oster, and she's going to stare at Oster.
Well, while you're being creepy, I mean, I could take. I mean, anyone want those? We could probably divvy out those healing potions, maybe. If no, and I'm going to try and just pocket the healing potions.
Yeah, Oster takes them out of the box and just gives them to you, Osfire. And then and then Deceit kind of saunters over, and the money is split I would say 60-40, darlings, because I did most of the work.
I would say
You hear like a big splashing as I'm like, what? I mean,
Babe?
that's just a regular potion of healing, was it?
They're just 2 regular potions of healing.
Okay.
I jest, of course. No. We'll split it equally, and Deceit kind of rolls their eyes.
Yeah, fucking rat will split it equally. Fucking coming up.
And Oster's holding the chest, like he's kind of taking it, like he's holding on to the loot. He's kind of half beaming with pride. And then when he hears you, Calda, say that you're gonna call the frog Oster, is that not gonna get a little confused? Like, I'm Oster.
Ribbit, I murder goblin families.
Oh.
Look, how cute.
And any sense of pride he felt is just gone.
Hey, boy, you can hold on to that chest, keep the money in it, but you can, after we're finished all this, you get to keep that chest as a momentum. And that's one of the greatest things about adventures, that you come home with momentums that you can keep stuff in, and it reminds you of the far-off times long ago when you had these amazing adventures and such. Yeah. So, you hold on to that. That's your first keepsake on this long road ahead of us.
And he looks around the cave. He sees the trail of blood that was left after it dragged Clark's body out, and Diane's body down the hole. Snowy's kind of come to, was looking a little bit dazed, but they're kind of feeding him some stew. And he, like, Oster just kind of nods at you. And then Sildar just, okay, we've settled on everything there. The Goblin Union are going to keep myself and Gundren's supplies. We'll take the other stuff back with us. They're going to get us a cart. And I reckon we regroup at Phandelver Supply and maybe see if we can rouse a guard to help us take Gundren back.
Yeah, and on the road we can talk about our heightened fee for this extra side work that you have us doing, I suppose.
Okay, certainly. We just need to get Mr. Rockseeker back alive, and preferably in one piece.
Oh.
If he came in more than one piece, do you reckon he'd still be alive? Because that's a medicine marvel if that happens.
Oh, it happened.
And Sildar just nods. No, I've seen it.
Oh, well, I haven't been a cleric for very long, so,
Can't wait to deal with that.
Yeah, I got that to look forward to.
And with kind of the Langton Coster goods kind of stacked up, and like the goblins kind of putting it up onto a crate, they wheel it up onto a kind of a passageway that leads further back through the cave network and out on top of a small little hill. And it's kind of hidden by the woods and the trees. It's the passageway where they had smuggled in the goods. They kind of point you in a direction back to the road. It is now late in the evening. It's dusk, and you can see that the sun is beginning to dip below the horizon as you make your way back onto the road in the direction of Phandelver. And you've found where you left your own cart that you've kind of parked to one side, and afraid of maybe overloading it, you drag the other cart with you. Well, Oster is dragging the other cart, he's pulling it, as ye head in the direction for Phandelver. It's a couple of hours of a walk, but as night falls and the sky gets dark and you feel kind of the cold wrap itself around you, Oster looks back over his shoulder and he sees the chest carrying the loot from his first adventure. And as he looks ahead, we find ourselves back in the tavern in the floor of the Bard's Quill in Neverwinter. and Oster's eyes drift towards the bar. And there on a shelf, covered in just a film of dust, you see a chest.
Oh.
The latch slightly broken on it. The bloodstains faded. And his eyes linger, and he kind of just looks around. He was definitely a giant broken baby. And Deceit is now kind of plonked in a chair next to him and just kind of nibbling on one of the deep fried starlings. Yes, quiet. And having manifested out of nowhere, everyone kind of locks an eye on her, and then Oster just kind of like chuckles to himself. But that was only the start. And
Calda's gonna put a hand into her robe and pull out the now tarnished frog. Ribbit, I end family line. Remember this, Oster? Do you want to keep this one beside the chest?
You kept it all these years.
I did. What a memory.
I'd also like to think that hanging over the bar somewhere is a very worn, tapestry of three wolves howling at the moon.
Absolutely. I would have given that to Oster.
That is also like leaning back in the chair and just like, I don't remember how I got out of that pool without alerting Bryson.
Bryson.
Byron Bryson, what is his name? I don't know.
Side quest. And
you get to Phandelver and you realise.
Yes, he's been following you the entire time.
He's been hiding in Oster's chest the entire time. He pops out at the bar.
Skeleton.
No.
As the wagon and your horses and the cart that Oster drags wheels towards the town of Phandelver, you can just see some dim lights in the distance from windows that almost beckon you into Phandelver. An energy kind of rushes through you, kind of an exhilaration of like, oh, we are almost there. Thankfully, we're almost there. It's sort of a potent adrenaline that kind of cuts in, and it is that it's just a few more steps. It's just a few more steps. But all of you remember that experience very, very differently. Some fondly, some with parts of it blanked out. Others with a very, very different view on how the whole thing actually ran. But the one thing all of you agree on is that it was a time that really changed a lot for you. And you grew from it. And you level up.
Yeah.
Boom. And that was Random DMs, episode 3 of our sojourn through the lost mines of Phandelver. I'm Declan, and I've been your dungeon master this time. I won't be your dungeon master next time, thankfully. But this evening I have been joined by Wayne as Osfire, Philippa as Thalia, and Fiona as Calda. Dahi, who plays Deceit, is currently, hopefully, enjoying a kick-ass fucking concert in the 3 arena. Big thank you to everybody in chat who joins us this evening. And to Ampersand D20 for the raid. Thank you so much for that. And to everybody who hung out with us and kept us company all evening, thank you for doing so. You can catch the VOD on demand probably tomorrow over on our YouTube channel. And just to very, very quickly mention that we have 2 very good friends of the show that are giving discount codes to people who watch and engage. And if you're looking for a new notebook or a campaign planner as a DM or a player journal, then check out the Rook and the Raven. They make some amazing custom notebooks that allow you to keep track of your game, keep track of your character development. You can customize them to your heart's content, and they're available for a couple of different systems, not just Dungeons and Dragons, which we're playing here.
I'm trying to find it. Where is it? Where is it,
I
Jack?
don't know. I've probably been to your house, ripped it out, and burned
Yes,
it.
I found it, and he did.
This is the part where I
It
say
came true.
everybody but Calder gets a level.
No. Is that the
No.
surprise?
Yes, that's the surprise. If you use the code D8Dungeon at the checkout, you will get a 15% discount. And to quickly mention, the purveyors and crafters of some amazing dice for your TTRPG campaign, we have a huge crush on Dakota Irish, so we strongly recommend you check them out for all your TTRPG goodies: dice, t-shirts, teas, dice cages, trays, candles. The candles are so good, I rave about them every time. And if you use the code DREAMD8s at the checkout, you'll get 10% off your order. So why not support two great little awesome TTRPG businesses and get some goodies out of it. We are D8 Dungeon. We are a group of tabletop role-playing gamers who like telling stories, having fun, and sharing that with people all over the world. Coming up this summer, we will be running D8 Dungeon Drive, our annual charity stream. We've yet to announce the dates, but it is looking like, the last weekend in July, with two charities that will be raising money for. So we will have more information on that over the coming weeks. But if you want to get involved, you want to be a player, you want to help produce a couple of the streams, you want to DM, maybe you feel like joining us here at Random DMs and you want to get involved, then join our Discord server. That's where we'll be posting the information first before it appears on our social media channels. And you can follow those two at D8 Dungeon. There's Twitter, Instagram, all the usual shablam. And before I let everybody go, though, there's like one tiny thing that we've left to do. And the worst part is my mouse just frickin' died. So I now have to find a way to charge this bloody thing.
If you do this like with a physical die in front of you, I will not trust the result.
I know that. That's why I'm not doing that. I just need to find a way to charge this mouse. Oh, wait. I have a backup mouse.
This is a lot of shite. This is some shit sort of shenanigans.
No, there it is. There's the backup mouse. It's my actual the Mac mouse. The other mouse is dead. So bear with me. Still using the Philippa is the only person here I trust. I had said the same thing like 3 hours ago, homebrew show, but no, not anymore. So
I am highly offended. Highly offended.
I've been in games with you. So we're gonna fling. I think you should see it. Hopefully, it's appearing on stream. Yes, the dice are there.
All
on stream.
of the dice are appearing on stream.
Oh my god!
We're gonna be throwing it. We're not throwing all the dice. We're just throwing a d4. Now, if it's a 1, it's Calda. If it's a 2, it's Thalia. If it's 3, it's Osfire. And if it's 4, it is Deceit, who will be taking the DM seat in 2 weeks' time. So let us. Where the hell has that gone? Oh, there it is. I'm like someone's mom trying to use the internet. Throw. That's 3. That is Osfire.
Okay.
That is our very own Wayne in the. Why is the dice on my face? That's bad dice. Hey guys, just put the baby down. I'm ready to start. Wayne, you are DMing in 2 weeks' time.
Okay.
And so we get to see things as they roll out from Osfire's perspective as we make it into Phandelver and our next course of action.
Very exciting.
Yep. We are back in 2 weeks' time. So make sure you're back to see how Wayne gets on shepherding this herd of freaking manic cats.
Literally.
Literally. I mean, the grain. And until then, have a great couple of weeks. Don't forget, we have a new episode of Ballad of the Mad Kings coming on Monday, where you can catch Fiona in a character where she doesn't hate me.
Not yet. It's called character development.
Oh, yes, it's developing into the same character where I hate you again. And next Friday, we have a brand new episode of Romance the Dungeon dropping on all your podcast platforms. So until then, you can check out our YouTube channel for all missing episodes, or you can check out Romance the Dungeon on any podcast platform. And we will see you back here, hopefully Monday, if not in 2 weeks' time, for episode 4 of Random DMs. Take care.
Yay, thanks everyone.